Welcome to Taking It to the Nub. I'm your host, Boston Jimmie, and tonight we have a really cool show. I'm actually broadcasting live from one of my favorite cigar shops here in Central Florida, Smoke Ring 72 in Merritt Island, Florida. So what you see behind me is the lounge, but we're going to bring on the Martinez Cigar crew from New York City. They're in a car, so bear with us. They're driving to an event, and we're going to get into this. The first person we're going to be bringing on is David Rivera, who is the sales director, marketing and sales director for Martinez Cigars.
Sorry,
welcome to Taking It to the Nub.
Let's see if this works out better. There we go.
All right. Very good. How you been?
I'm good. Driving a little bit, but doing good.
All right. How'd TPE turn out for you?
TPE was great for us. It was our second year. We had to wait a little year pause in between, but our second year was definitely a lot better than the first, even though our first one was great. People knew about us. People came over, wanted to see what we had new for the year. The first year we introduced the 45 series, which did really well at 2019. So with this year's release of the Patrimonio, we couldn't be happier.
So I'm actually smoking the 45 series right now.
Oh, there you are. Beautiful.
So why don't you talk about this? We'll talk about the Patrimonio in a minute, but let's talk about the 45 series. Tell me what I'm smoking.
Well, you're smoking the 45 series, which is a Nicaraguan Dominican filler. Has Cubanito in there. It has a Nicaraguan Seco, a Dominican Ligero, and it has a Dominican Cubanito. You have also a Cubanito binder, and I believe you're smoking the San Andreas wrapper.
Yes, it is. So how many different wrappers does this come in?
That comes in 2 wrappers. It comes in the San Andreas, and then it comes in the Habano natural. Okay. Which I like the Habano as well. The San Andreas is what's really taken off for people.
So the 45 is an anniversary year for you.
Yes.
Which celebrates from 1974?
From 1974. When I came onto the company 4 years ago, we were talking about bringing something new and what we were going to do. And I said, we have to think about putting out an anniversary series cigar. So we started talking, and he was just like, all right, let's do an anniversary 45 years. And that's how it came about. We were just like, all right, let's do the 45 series. And that just came out to be a beautiful smoke for us. And people really, really loved it. And it's pretty much put us on the map.
All right. Now, we were supposed to have Jesus on, but you called me earlier and you explained. So, Jesus, you guys are going to 2 different events in opposite directions.
Exactly. We're going 2 different events. I'm going upstate New York. He's going out to Long Island. So we're jumping around like crazy.
So who's your sidekick there?
This is Robinson. He's one of our rollers. He actually rolls the Patrimonio series. He joined us about 4 months now, and he's great. He's got a lot of experience. He worked for Arturo Fuente. He worked for Victor Sinclair, and now he's working with us.
Well, tell him he did a great job on the Patrimonio.
Te encantó el patrimonio que tú hiciste. He says, thank you.
Now, many years ago, I was in the shop in New York.
Yeah.
Let me help people understand. You're on what, 29th Street?
Yes, we're on 29th and 7th in Manhattan. We're about 3 blocks from Madison Square Garden.
Okay. And I was in that shop. It's a very quaint shop, very nice. But I guess I didn't register in my mind. You actually have a factory in that shop?
Yeah, the whole shop is a factory. So during the day from like 6 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning to like 2 in the afternoon, we're in full production. We have 5 rollers. We roll. Each roller does about 800 a day. And we just pump out right now we're averaging about 150 to 200,000 cigars a year.
Now, was it only done in that factory, or you also use factories in the Dominican or Nicaragua?
No, this is our only production.
So everything that you sell, handmade in New York City.
That is correct.
Something special you could put on your bands.
Yeah, we're the oldest. We're the oldest factory in all of New York, and we are one of 50 in the United States that still make cigars here.
I just got a little text here from Luis Cuevas is watching. So,
the man.
It says, great guys, great cigars, great company, and it was an absolute pleasure meeting them at TPE.
Oh, man. Luis Cuevas, for me, is one of the most stand-up, amazing people I've ever met. Jesus and I were blown away by him and his son, and the whole company is just, there isn't words to describe how great of a man that is. And we were so happy to be able to meet him, and we look forward to doing things together down the road.
Yeah, super pleasurable guy to be around. His family's awesome.
Man.
So
we had a great time.
Let's talk a little bit about the Patrimonio. So just in a moment, let me, I'm going to tee it up here for a second. And we're going to go through the review I did on it. And if, just trying to get my internet to go nice here in the lounge. So the Patrimonio, we gave that a pretty solid 95.
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Let us bring that up for a second for everybody to see. All right, so this is the Patrimonio. It's a Brazilian Arapiraca, the version that I had. And we got these, I mean, so walk through this a little bit. So it's a Brazilian or a San Andreas. I did the Brazilian.
Yes.
Nicaraguan binder, Nicaraguan, Dominican, and
Cuban. Yep, you're right. You got it.
Now, what I got out of this was these nice, rich notes of cedar, and citrus, coffee. There was a nice floral note. I would describe it as a Cuban-esque floral note.
Nice.
Some natural sweetness, raisin, and spice. And just gonna give everybody a look at this. So absolutely beautiful wrapper. I mean, how old is that wrapper?
That is a 5-year-old Arapiraca wrapper, Brazilian wrapper.
Uh-huh. And then if you look at the burn on this, I mean,
it's clean. It's clean.
Oh, beautiful. And the ash cone on here is nice. It's pretty solid, stacking dimes as far as ash goes, all the way down to the end. So we really enjoyed this cigar. I look forward to experiencing the San Andreas because I'm sure it's going to give me a slightly different profile.
Yeah, it's definitely going to give you a little more profile. It's going to be richer in body. With that San Andreas, it gives you a little bit more sweetness on it. Mm-hmm. It really does a nice job on it. So it gives you more of a little bit more, like I said, a different more of a flavor profile than you would on the Arapiraca.
So how long have you been with Martinez Cigars?
I've been with Martinez working 4 years, almost 5 years now. I've been friends with Jesus and everybody at the shop for close to almost 18 years now, probably closer to 20. So we've been back and forth hanging out. I was introduced to them when I had my own cigar shop, and they dropped off some cigars at my store. And then him and I started doing a little business together with my shop, and then we just continued the friendship all along when I was working in the city. And then I decided to get back into the business, and I was going to start my own line. And he was looking for someone to expand the business, so I just quit my job and started working for him.
You quit? So you quit the job and sold the shop?
Well, I sold the shop a while ago, and then I was doing commercial real estate for 10 years. And I was in the shop during my break for lunch, and we were talking. So I said, I'll be back. And I went back to my office, put my 2 weeks in, and came back and said, all right, you hired me, so let's start working. So from there on, I was unofficially hired by myself.
How did things work out with you during the pandemic for Martinez?
It's interesting because when we got back from TP in 2019, you know, we did really well. We were getting orders. People were we were getting ready to pack up orders to send out, and then right on that March, everything shut down, and I couldn't tell you how many orders we had to cancel. So we were a little nervous at first, but everyone being home and being online and social media, it turned out to be a blessing. It was our online presence through podcasts, Instagram, any kind of social media, the platform that I can get on. I got on, and it just exploded. We did a show called the Cigar Pulpit. We do the Pulpit series, cigars for them. That's how the 45 got introduced. We sent out a couple of 45s to them. Did really well from that, and then just started getting on other platforms. And we did an event out in St. Louis in the middle of the pandemic. I just packed the guys up in a car, drove them out to St. Louis. We did a huge event out there. A lot of guys from the Luxury Cigar Club came out. I met Chris from Luxury. We ended up striking up a good relationship, and from there it just blew up. And I think we could say we probably tripled our business since the pandemic. Yeah.
So if people, so you're in, how many shops are you in right now?
Right now we're going to be in about 20 shops.
20 shops.
Starting, yeah.
First the factory shop.
Yes.
And
so,
so you said you had St. Louis. So does St. Louis carry them?
Which ones? The Patrimonios?
No, you're the line. So.
Oh yeah, they carry most of the lines. They carry everything. We also, the Patrimonio is going to be included in the luxury PRP program. So that's going to be in there because we're really going to be pushing the Patrimonio series in that program. So the core line can be found, you know, going to be in all the retail stores, and then the Patrimonio is going to be in their retail stores as well. So hopefully we'll be in, hopefully double, triple our retail locations within the year. That's the goal.
So Nick from the Cigar Clowns, I don't know if you've met or heard of Nick from the Cigar Clowns or familiar with the Cigar Clowns group.
No.
So they're based out of Brooklyn, and
okay.
They're on a journey to find the perfect cigar. So they get these rare things that are hiding in the backs of aging rooms. Nick says, New York, nice. So obviously you two need to get together.
Yes, come down. I got some things hidden in the humidor that no one knows about. So yeah, come through.
Yeah. Nothing like a good New York cigar.
Yeah, actually, we had, when we left the factory now, we just had the New York chapter of the Ashholes in. So there's about 15 guys in there now. And I gave them one of the cigars. There's been like 2 or 3 bundles that were sitting in the corner of our humidor that nobody knew what they belonged to or who they were made for. So they were sitting there for close to 8 months to a year. So I finally asked, I go, whose cigars are these? And I was like, I have no idea. I asked the rollers when they made them. And they're like, I have no clue. So I smoked it, and I was like, wow, this thing is delicious. So now I stash them away, and I just give them out to select fews that come in and get to experience something that you'll never experience again because we don't know what the blend is.
If somebody comes and visits you, do you give any tours of your shop factory?
Oh, definitely. I mean, what you see, we're 250 square feet, but it's probably less. It's probably like 180 to 200. And it's, once you walk in, you're in the middle of the factory. So what your eyes can grab is what your tour is. And we let you sit next to the rollers. We let you sit at the rollers table when they're not there. you get to pretty much be immersed in everything that we do when you come and visit. So it's getting a little dusty and dirty because of the tobacco, but we have drinks that we put behind the counter. We have a freezer downstairs. So we make it as comfortable as possible for you.
Now, are you planning?
So it's a unique thing.
Oh, yes. I'm very unique. It reminds me a lot of like going into like Ybor City and the little shops in Ybor City.
Yes. And it brings you back into the 70s because everything's original. Everything's pretty much how it was when it started. The wood panels, the neon sign from 1974. We have pictures and artwork that people have given us throughout the years. So when you walk in, it's kind of like a time warp and you're back into the 70s. It's pretty cool.
The patriarch of the company who passed away in 2002, he was from, where did he come originally from?
Yeah, they're from, he's from Tamboril in Dominican Republic. It's just outside of Santiago. Mm-hmm. It's in the middle of the country. Tamboril is like they call it now the cigar capital of the world. Most of your big tobacco and cigars come from that area of Dominican Republic. So he's Tamboril. The whole family's from there, and most of the rollers, practically all the rollers that we have, are from that small town as well.
Now you mentioned you have you have some events you're going to. So in Long Island and the New York area, how many shops carry your line?
Right now we're actually gonna get into like 4 or 5. A lot of New York City shops stayed away from us because of the taxes of New York State, the city taxes. So now we're able to like absorb some of that taxes for them. And we can now just get into there. So we're hoping to be in like another 4 or 5 probably in there.
Does Harry Savannah Hut carry your stuff?
He is going to be carrying our stuff. Yeah, he is. Actually, he is. He just signed on, I think, a couple weeks ago.
You'll have to make a cigar for him called Baby.
Hey, baby.
Like, hey, baby. What you do? He's got to have his own personal cigar for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Now,
I'm just gonna check my map. So I'm still here. You might not see me, but I'm just gonna check.
Know what? Why don't you do that? And I'm gonna do a quick commercial break here.
Okay.
All right. So today's show is brought to you by. You got to apologize a little bit because I'm doing this from a lounge here, not from my normal environment. It's always fun when you're not in your normal setup. So today's show is brought to you by Platinum Nova Cigars. Platinum Nova Cigars is a family-owned and operated premium cigar company. They have only the highest vintage tobacco and the most skilled hand workmanship go into the making of each Platinum Nova cigar, resulting in a timeless blend of art and craftsmanship. The brand and their work to honor their grandfather and to always remember him and his infinite passion of the finest cigars is what drives the company to produce expert craftsmanship. The love of cigars started with their grandfather, a dedicated master blender and entrepreneur in the cigar industry. So the next time you're looking for an exquisite cigar experience, reach out to www.novacigar.com and check them out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And right now, you can have 2 things going on with Platinum Nova. One is if you go to their site and use Boston Jimmie 15, you will get 15% off any order. And they are also running a special BOGO flash right now where you could buy 1 pack of 5 for $71.45 and get the second one at 50% off. So you're basically paying $107 to get 10 ultra premium cigars. So check out Platinum Nova Cigars. Today's show is also brought to you by La Jolla del Chan. La Jolla del Chan is a dream come true for husband and wife, Gabby L. Chan and Liz. They want all the hands that work the tobacco leaf in their home country of Puerto Rico to have the same opportunity to expose their products. They call the company La Jolla del Chan because they cultivate part of their product, and at some point, they want to be able to supply the world with the native Puerto Rican tobacco leaf. The pride that Gabby and Liz feel is the same pride of all those who work the tobacco leaf, and for this, they deserve a portal that represents them. They want to thank you for supporting the country, and they always will say, we will resist. You could follow La Jolla del Chan at www.lajolladelchan.com and El Chan Cigars on Instagram and Facebook. Today's show is also brought to you by Tarazona Cigars. Tarazona Cigars, they do it with passion. Tarazona premium handmade long leaf cigars are each rolled to the highest quality by masterful rollers. Each hand that touches the process takes pride in the quality and the craftsmanship of every cigar that goes into every box of Tarazona. So next time you're looking for a fine smoke, do it with passion and reach for Tarazona. You can follow Tarazona Cigars on Facebook and Instagram, and you can visit them at www.tarazonacigars.com. I want to thank our sponsors. For without them, this show is always a little bit harder to do. All right, Dave, we're back.
All right, nice. I'm here. Just merging onto the parkway.
I have a guest here with me.
Oh, nice.
I want to introduce you to Terry Maben. And Terry Maben is the president of our local Sticks and Spirits Cigar Club here in Melbourne, Central Florida. Say hi, Dad, Terry.
Hey, everybody. How you doing out there? I'm glad to be here tonight.
Terry, we've been talking a little bit about Martinez Cigars in New York, which is something you may not have heard of. And I'm going to have to get you some of these cigars sometime so you could try them.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Definitely going to try them.
Glad to try them out.
Nice to meet you, Terry.
Yeah, your video is off, Dave. I don't know if you're still looking at GPS.
Yeah, I'm just almost at the right spot, so I don't have to worry about anything. All right, we're good. Should be.
There you are.
There we go. What's going on? On the go.
You can see he's in all Florida gear right now. I'm in Boston gear, and you're in driving gear.
I'm in driving gear.
Let's shift the table a little bit and talk about your Yankees.
Oh man.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but you got to give us a battle. I mean, last night was good, but still.
It's early. It's still early for us.
It's always early for you guys.
We always fall asleep in the first 4 months of the season.
Yeah, you do. And then suddenly you begin to surge. You keep within striking distance.
Yep. And then, like I said, we're still missing that fire, I think. We need that little bit of like grit.
Now, are they fully open there at the Yankee Stadium?
I believe they are now, yeah. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. But from what last I heard, they're starting to be – everything's open, yeah.
Yeah,
we're fully open in the city.
I know last night's game at Fenway was the first sold-out game of the season for them.
Oh, good.
So they had 30,000 plus there. So we're getting back to normal, trying to reopen America here.
Exactly. That's the key. And nothing better than a full stadium when the Yankees and the Red Sox are playing, that's for sure.
There you go. Now you were talking about how you've been growing, the business has grown through the pandemic. As a sales and marketing director, where do you want to take them now? And do you have the capacity to grow to where you want to go?
Right now, we're actually in the process of expanding our production. We're actually looking into start our production in Dominican Republic, and then also starting a production facility outside the city, about 45 minutes north of the city. We'll have another production facility up there. So we'll be able to produce in Dominican Republic, produce upstate and be able to produce at the shop in the city. So we'll have 3 locations. So we want to grow. We don't want to grow way too fast where we're not able to keep up. And one thing we don't want to do is put any strain on the quality of the cigars that we're producing. That has to stay the same. It's just giving us more space and more opportunity to try different things. We could take 4 or 5 rollers and work on a new line and still not hampering our everyday production. And the thing is, we're doing a lot more collaborations with a lot of big companies to do stuff like Luxury is one of them. We have 2 more that we just signed at TPA that we're going to be doing at the end of the summer. Actually 3. So not only are we focusing on our brands, but we're looking to do collaborations with other manufacturers or other brand owners. Since, I feel as a company, we're lucky. We have someone like Jesus he's 44 years old, but he's been blending for over 20 years. And everything he's put out in the last year and a half has just been top notch. And I always tell people, he's got to be talked about as one of those blenders out there that are on top of their game and always producing high-end cigars. And my job is to get people to understand who he is and really familiarize themselves with the Martinez brand.
Okay. Now, another part of the business model is not only Martinez Cigars, the brand, but you also do a lot of private label cigars.
Yeah.
Talk about
we do a lot
private label program.
We do private labels for businesses, events, and then we also do private lines for companies that want to start out. A lot of the big things for us is we like helping out new companies coming out and trying to do something. One of them, for example, is the ATL Cigar Company out of Atlanta. We do the ATL Black Series for them. They're starting out. They wanted to make a name for themselves, and they're doing an incredible job with their marketing. And we developed their Black Series for their line, and it's something that we enjoy doing. We like seeing the process of a small company starting out and giving them that opportunity to do something. So, yeah, we'll do something on a private end, but again, we'll create labels for any event, golf outings, weddings, celebrity entertainment, pretty much anything we'll put our hands on. If that makes sense.
So if somebody wanted to get a private label, is there 2 avenues to this? One is using existing blends you have and create a band for it, and the other is create your own blend.
Yeah, if someone wants, let's say, they're having a party or a birthday party and they want 50 cigars or the flat iron, but they want their own label on there for the event, we'll take in that, we'll grab all their artwork, we'll create a band for them with everything on it that they want, and then we'll label the flat irons with those bands on it for them. And so they'll have that custom band for whatever event they're doing. It could be, like I said, for wedding, graduation. We've done stuff for, we did Dwayne Wade's retirement last game in New York. We did that event. We did Michael Jordan event for Michael Jordan back in 2005. Anywhere from Louis Vuitton to any type of movie and stuff like that. So we pretty much go anywhere and do kind of any kind of event you want us to do. I just want to check my GPS one more time.
Wow, so that's pretty cool. There.
Okay.
Amazing.
That's amazing. I'm kind of interested in that part of it myself. I was thinking about maybe having a few custom blends made for me. So that might be a nice thing to check into for me.
Yeah, no, definitely reach out to me and we can sit and talk and do like a little personal house blend. We do those for brick and mortars as well. They'll say we want to do a nice little house blend, a Maduro, Connecticut, anything, and we'll put it together and then send you out some samples and then have something there for your local B&Ms. Now, we're a small company. We're able to do that. A lot of the big companies don't have the time or anything like that. One thing we want to keep focusing on, even though we're going to be growing, we want to keep a portion of that business being done out of the shop in New York. That's pretty much where it's all said and done. The other factories, either it's upstate or in Dominican Republic, that's more for large scale production. But for stuff like brick and mortars, doing like little house blends, we'll do that out of the facility here in the city, and that's easy to be done.
Now, how far is your reach as far as sourcing leaf? I mean, you got your own in-house that you purchase. You don't grow leaf, you source it.
Yeah, no, we purchase our tobacco from hold on one second. Right, hopefully this is the right way. Sorry, guys. We are just like any other company. They purchase tobaccos. Owning your own farm is a whole different animal compared to just having a factory. But we can get our hands on any kind of tobacco. Jesus has, I can't tell you how many years of over 30, 40 years of just connections of have a relations of be able to get any kind of tobacco we can get, anywhere from Peruvian to Ecuadorian, Mexican, whatever needed we can get. And that's the beauty of our factories, because we're small. Like I always say, we're still small, but our connections run deep. We have connections that go through every major grower in Dominican Republic to Nicaragua. So that's the advantage we have for anybody else. We can get any tobacco that needs to be made.
Right. So that's pretty critical if somebody wanted to actually have you make a cigar for them.
Yeah.
Blend, they would want to find the tobaccos.
I mean, there's people that come in and ask for tobacco that nobody can get, and we're like, well, that we can't get it, even if the big guys can't get it. But there's, you got to make the phone call. It's like any other business. You network your supplier, and you figure out what, I'm looking for this and I'm looking for that. And then going back home to Tambori, we have a lot of guys that have a lot of connections in terms of growers, little private growers throughout Dominican Republic, and they'll be like, yeah, we have 4 or 5 bales of this, and we'll just scap it up and take it.
Now, how many rollers do you have besides your friend sitting next to you?
We have 5.
5 rollers.
We have 5 rollers. Yep. We have 2 pairs, a buncher and a wrapper, and then we have one guy that just does everything. He'll bunch, he'll wrap, he'll just pull up wherever we need to help him.
And they're skilled enough to make pretty much any of these Vitolas, Lanceros, and
yeah, these guys have been doing this. He started when he was 7.
Wow.
Everybody else is around 5 and 7 years old. They start working. So, and like Christian, the guy that does a lot of the wrappers for us, his father was one of the Hemingway rollers for 40 years, and he started working with Davidoff. Stayed at Davidoff for a while, and then was at Sinclair, and then came here. So a lot of our guys have the training from either Davidoff, Fuente, all the big guys around. And when they come here to work for us, you're looking at 20 years easily of experience from the beginning of the process to being an expert at the end, the final process of it. And it's good for me because I get to learn as much as possible.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the fun part, right? Now, have you had your hands on rolling at all?
Not rolling, no.
Haven't taken a shot at that?
No, I don't want to do anything about the rolling. I'm not that. Just too many left hands for me on that thing. It's just too many things going on. I enjoy sampling whatever they're doing, but I do mess around. I do help out with, separating the leaves, turning over the molds, doing the rotations on the presses, taking out the stems on the wrappers. So all the little stuff I'll help out as much as possible. And then the labeling. So in such a small shop, you have to get your hands dirty. You have to do something, either, spraying down the tobacco, getting the wrappers ready, moving the molds, rotating the molds from earlier in the day. So it's just all depending on what's needed. So, and if you're not doing it right, they'll let you know.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you know.
Do you do a draw testing on your cigars?
We take a couple at every bundle and start smoking them. The rollers, while they're doing it, they'll smoke a couple, see where it's at. We don't have the draw test machine. It depends on who you talk to. A lot of people don't like them because you don't really get the real process of how it draws when until the wrapper's on and it sits and that tobacco gets to sit a little bit and get into those little crevices, like they say. He's like, you know, let those leaves expand and get those little gaps that are not, you might not feel like, oh, this is empty, but if you let it sit, it dries up, it fills in, and then you'll see a whole difference. So you take 1 or 2 out of that bundle, we'll smoke them, and then, you know, you usually know right then and there.
How long do you keep your cigars in the aging room before you hit them to the shelf?
Well, for us in the factory, when people come in and buy them, they're no more than 2 weeks, maybe less. People just, for me, I like my cigars a little drier on the dry end. People like them here in the city a little softer for some reason. So it's all preference, but a lot of them grab them up and take them home and let them sit in their humidor. For us, I like to keep our cigars that we ship out to the shops. I like to have them in the humidor at least 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
You don't age them 3 months.
No. I mean, you could, but the turnover is so fast that we don't have time to do that. But with the new stuff coming out, the Patrimonio, 45s, all that stuff that goes into the retail stuff, they're going to be aging about no less than a month for those. For inside the shop, we try to do 3 weeks. We try.
Okay.
And the thing is, it's different from Dominican Republic where the humidity is there all year round. So they have cold rooms. We don't use a cold room. And then after, like right now, all of our humidors are off. Nothing's on. So it's just the pure humidity from the weather. But once September hits, everything goes back up, and now we're dealing with the cold, and that dries off the cigars a lot faster than normal. So then it's a fight every day, to be honest with you. It's just a fight.
Yeah. I mean, I keep my stash in. I have an electronically controlled humidor and control. So I do like 68 is where I keep mine. And you got to rotate them because they, the ones that are a little cooler than the ones up top.
Yep. Yeah, I keep the one at the shop downstairs. We have a walk-in downstairs. I like to keep that one around 65, 66. Anything over that, it gets a little too spongy for us. And it doesn't allow it to dry as much as we need it. So I'm always down there adjusting everything and keeping around that 66, 65. That line looks really good.
Yeah, this is burning very, very nice. Nice flavors coming through. I'm not paying a lot of attention to the flavor, but I'm not getting put off by it, so I'm happy.
Yeah. No, it's good. If you sit down with that one and just – the retro on that is beautiful. I love the retro on that 45.
Smooth.
Yeah.
Very smooth.
Yep.
No bite at all.
Nope.
So at this point, let me move to another segment real quick where we're going to go through what's new in news and reviews on Stogie Press.
Beautiful.
Come back, we'll kind of close it out. I know you're got to get to a shop, and we'll do a quick little lightning round with you. And,
I got time. We got time.
All right, so let's do a quick segment here, and we'll get into what's new in reviews and news on Stogie Press.
Awesome.
And you can see how I make the sausage.
There's always a way to make the sausage.
That's it. All right, so I guess we'll start with cigar news. As we approach PCA, there is a lot of news that comes out at this time in a month. So there's a number of things that have been announced. Sinestro Cigars have announced the Last Barbarian. So the Last Barbarian, this is currently in a pre-release mode right now. They have 8,000 cigars that they're releasing in 2 different sizes. This is a Dominican Maduro with an African Cameroon binder and a bold filler of Dominican Super Ligero, Nicaraguan Ligero, Pennsylvania Lajero, and Nicaraguan Seco. So if you're looking for a really strong cigar, this might be in your wheelhouse. These cigars are pricing out at $10 for a Robusto and $12 for a Toro, and they're coming in 10-pack bundles here. And they're doing 8,000 pre-releases, and the official release will be in 2022. Cretech International. Cretech International is the ones that are behind the TPE show every year. They've just did some senior management promotions. So business has been good. So Jason Kerrigan now is going to be the chief, who's currently the chief marketing officer, is now going to become the president of Phillips and King and TMG International. And Albert Jose, who is currently the director of Cretech Marketing, has been promoted to Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Cretech. So if you're following anything in Cretech International, that's news out of them this week. Our friends over at Patello have announced the Camo Suite. The Camo Suite is made at the La Aurora factory in Santiago, Dominican Republic. They plan to release it in 2 Vitolas, a 5x50 Robusto and a 6x50 Toro, and they are not releasing the blend. But one has to think that with the name Camo Suite, there seems to be a little bit of sweetness to this. We don't know where it's coming from. They plan on releasing these and shipping them in the middle of August of this year. Ace Prime and Tabacalero Pichardo have announced the Fiat Lux. Now, I will tell you, I smoked one of these at TPE. They weren't showcasing it, but Luciano let me smoke one with him, and this is a really special cigar. It is unique in more ways than you can imagine. So this whole thing is all about enlightenment, and this is going to really pleasure the palate in a way that you've never felt before. So check this out, especially if you're at PCA. I would definitely say go check them out. Crown Heads is the distributor for this, so they'll be distributing these. You can check them out at the Crown Heads booth and probably at Ace Prime. It's a Sumatra High Prime Ecuadorian. It's got a Nicaragua binder and Nicaragua fillers, but some of this stuff is really special. And it comes in 4 different Vitolas where they've got these different names. You can see an Acumen 6x56 and a 5.5x52, and all the way down to a 5 5/8 by 46. The box design, the presentation of this is beautiful. I can't wait till I actually get a production release of this to compare to what I smoked over at TPE, because I really, really enjoyed this one. Crown Heads also announced that they're going to be debuting the Crown Heads Court Series E at PCA. So this one here is it's inspired. So for those that don't know, John Uber from Crown Heads, he's big into the music world, and a lot of what he does has a musical reference all the time. This particular one was inspired, it was sonically inspired by the instrumental rock solo Eruption performed by Eddie Van Halen. And when I say sonically inspired, he in the past had created his original cigar, the 4 Kicks. What he did is he went and sat down with Ernesto Perez Carrillo, and he said, I want you to listen to this song, okay, which was a Zeppelin song, and said, go make a cigar that sounds like this. Sounds funny, but Ernesto got it and understood. And the power, the strength, the transitions all came out of that sound. So they did something similar here with the CHG Series E. So I'm looking forward to this. Ecuadorian Habano Oscuro with a Nicaraguan binder from Jalapa and Nicaraguan fillers from Pueblo Nuevo, Ometepe, and Jalapa. So they're going to be coming in 4 different Vitolas ranging from $10.25 to $12.25 per cigar. So if you're at PCA, definitely check that out. Our friends over at Protocol have extended their blue line. This is their first cigar they came out with, was the blue line. They've added the Gordo to it. So this is the first time they've ever done a Gordo. They're hoping everything goes well with it. And again, same blend as the original with the Habano Oscuro, Nicaraguan Habano, and a quadruple Lajero from Nicaragua. So check this one out. They're going to be showcasing these also at PCA, and they're going to be running, they come in 10-count boxes, and they'll be running at $11 per cigar, and they're being done by Eric Espinoza at the La Zona factory. And Protocol also announced the Bass Reeves edition to the Lawmen series. So one of the other line that they have is featuring different lawmen. The owners of this are ex-police officers, and they always want to give tribute to the law enforcement. So they did this whole line around lawmen. This particular one is about Bass Reeves, which was one of the first Black deputy U.S. Marshals in history. So during his long career in Arkansas, the Oklahoma Territory, he arrested more than 3,000 dangerous criminals. And in 1875, he was sworn in as a U.S. Deputy Marshal. So check that out. Ecuadorian Sumatra and a Nicaraguan Dark Habano come in 2 different blends with Nicaraguan binders and fillers. And lastly, Ace Prime also is coming out with a PCA exclusive. So one of the things about PCA this year, if you're going, they're going to have a separate booth where they're doing PCA exclusive cigars that the brands are going to showcase. So Ace Prime is going to be showcasing the Sergeant. And this is giving tribute to all of the sergeants that take care of all the people and make sure that they fight the good fight. So this is going to be an Ecuadorian wrapper, Corolla 99, with a U.S. Connecticut binder and a Nicaraguan filler. And they're going to be coming in 20-count boxes, and the MSRP is set at $10.50 a cigar. Going to some of the reviews that we had this week, we did a couple of reviews. The first one is from our friends over at the Cigar Clowns. So the Cigar Clowns did their latest drop called the Ron, which is kind of a nod to Ronald McDonald as the clown. And this particular one was rated in a 94. This one is actually made. They don't normally announce who made these or where they're made. It's kind of their mystery. But they did announce that this was made at A.J. Fernandez. A.J. Fernandez had his hands all over this. You could tell by its construction, the flavor. The flavor profile was spectacular with nice black pepper bursts in the front, had some butter and cocoa cream, dark chocolate, earthiness, on and on and on. It just had beautiful transitions. And the nice thing about this is it pays tribute to Brooklyn, New York. And what I like about this is the band. The band is absolutely beautiful. It's designed to look like a paper currency with the 718 area code, the 917 code built into it. I just love this band. It kind of brings me back to my days when I actually lived in the Clinton Hill neighborhood of Brooklyn when I was going to college. So I really enjoy the cigar. All right, spectacular burn on it, all the way down.
Looks good. Looks really good.
This is a really thing. The only thing it did have a flaky ash. That's a pet peeve of mine. A little wavy burn, but it was. I had smoked a couple of these. They were consistent both times. It was very complex, flavorful, and yeah, go buy a box if you can find these. And then the other one we looked at was the Adventura cigars. The Navigator was one of their originals they came out with, but this one is a line extension to it. I picked this one up at TPE. This one is called the Francis D. Corona. And Francis D. stands for Sir Francis Drake, who circumnavigated the globe back in the 1500s. All right. This one is just, from the moment I looked at it, doing the pre-light examination of aromas to the cold drawer, all the way down to the end. I just wanted another one. That's how good this cigar is. This is a spectacular cigar. You know, if you like Coronas, and I'm finding more people talk about Coronas, this is right in your wheelhouse. It's a traditional 6x44 Corona. This is, I mean, just a beautiful looking cigar. Nice ash on it. Look at the ash carrying on that. All right, all the way down. Gets a little wave here. Didn't need any touch-ups. It just, the nice thing about this one is I was expecting maybe I would get some pepperiness or whatever. No, I got natural sweetness right off the first puff, right into a toasted sweet cracker note, a little bit of sweet hay, coffee and cream, and it just developed in that way. The undertone of this was sweetness from front to end. Did get a nice little mild spice in the final, and then this nice sweet aroma was coming off of this. So this is just a spectacular hour and 25 minute cigar. The only points I took off was that little mild wave, but yeah, this is, God, man, I love this cigar. It was awesome. And then lastly, the other thing in our site is I pushed out the Foundation Cigars interview from last Thursday with Nick Malio. If you haven't seen that, it's out on the YouTube channel now, and you can just click here and go watch it. Nick is just one of the most knowledgeable cigar men in this industry, and he put out a lot of knowledge to everybody in this interview. So awesome. Check that out if you get a chance. So that's the news and reviews in Stogie Press for this week. All right, moving right along. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Hanging in there, a little rain, but it's good.
All right,
clear up a little bit.
So, I take it you were born and raised in New York.
Yes. I was born just outside of the city, and I've been in Brooklyn for almost 28 years now, and then now I'm in Manhattan.
Oh, you living in Manhattan now?
Yeah, I'm living in Manhattan now.
How's Manhattan doing now with this post-pandemic mode?
Too many people. We got a lot of.
You know that when I did the news on the Cigar Clowns Ron, Brooklyn, I did a little research. If Brooklyn and all the 5 boroughs were independent cities, Brooklyn is the 3rd largest city in the United States. 2.6 million people.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's at one point it was, I think at one point it was like the 6th largest city in the States. The borough of Brooklyn.
So what do you do now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you.
Okay.
Yeah, you get a little glitchy now.
Yeah, I'm a little coming in through the valley here.
Yeah, you get the valley in the rain. What do you do when you're not doing cigar work?
If it's in the winter, I'm on a mountain snowboarding. In the summer, I'm here every day, 7 days a week, to be honest with you. Right, we're at the factory. We're open every day. So if we're not working, we're just hanging out at the factory, smoking and hanging and watching baseball or doing something. But I'm either in the winter, I'm in the mountains snowboarding most of the time, to be honest with you. That's my getaway. Other than that, I like to travel, get in the car and go somewhere or jump on a plane and just get away for a couple of days. So I just got away for a couple of days in last week in the Dominican Republic, just to recharge. And I haven't done that in a while, so it was time to do that.
You doing any streaming on TV lately?
Yeah, we do a lot through work. At 4 or 5 o'clock, Netflix goes on in the shop, and we got either wine, Coronas, or whatever. We're watching anything from Lupin, The Ozarks, pretty much anything that's on Netflix.
So my wife and I, we were watching last night. She got into this series. It's a documentary series, I think, on Amazon, and it's about prohibition. All right.
Oh, nice.
And it's a really, really interesting show. It takes you back way before prohibition started and how the whole vibe in the country started changing to be anti-alcohol and why and how that moved forward. But here's an interesting factoid that I did not know. So you learn something every day.
Okay.
Where does the term bootlegger come from?
Wait, say it again. You kind of broke up there. Say it one more time.
I said, where does the term bootlegger come from?
I have no idea.
Yeah. So we all know bootleggers are the guys who were running, they called them bootleggers. They were running
yeah.
The actual name originated from when they were going into prohibition. They find different ways to have sold alcohol. And one way was there would be guys walking down the streets in the city and they had a bottle in their boot. And what they would do is like, they take the bottle out, ask some, if you wanted to, if you knew the guy, you would go over and you would buy a swig from him. And he'd take the bottle out, you take a swig, and he put it back in his boot and walk around. And they called them bootleggers.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
It's got anything?
It makes sense, doesn't it?
I might have missed it, but the availability of Martinez cigars, are they available like here in Florida, or is it just through the website? I mean, what's your distribution in the U.S.?
Right now we're distributing through Luxury Cigar Club. Their distribution of our Patrimonio and a couple of our core style. You can get it on our off our website. We ship all over the country, international. Hopefully we'll be in a couple stores in the next month or so in Florida. I don't know exactly where. I got to talk to my guy, Kevin. He has the list. But mostly right now through our website, we can ship out to you.
Now, does Luxury carry the whole line?
The Patrimonio is going to be in their PRP program, but they're going to distribute our line. We'll be the ones doing all the getting them into B&B. Just their distribution will be better for us since we don't have the space to hold all our tobacco or cigars and where we're at. So they'll have it for us, distributed for every consumer that we get. So it'll be shipped out there directly right through them. But you'll be getting it through us and distributed through them.
Now, one of the ones that I actually got from them, and I think I got it at TPE. I'm not sure. Sometimes I forget where they come in from. But they had one in the package that they were from you called the Hangry.
Yes.
So talk about the Hangry.
They came to us, and Chris and Ben wanted to start, get their own line out there, get their first. They're doing quite a different things and different types of blends they're going to be coming out with. So we did the Hangry for them. They wanted to do a Lonsdale with that San Andreas wrapper. It's got a 5-year-old San Andreas wrapper on there. It's got the Nicaraguan Dominican blend, and it's got a Nicaraguan binder. Really nice, sweet, full body, medium to full body, I would say. Great smoke. It burns really nice white ash. It's got that toothy look to it on the wrapper. And it's, for us, we love that stick. It's funny, Jesus, for all the rejects that we take out of the bag, if the wrapper's not right or something's just not up to par, I make a reject pile, and either we're gonna give it to the people that come in because we're not gonna sell them, or we just smoke it ourselves. And it's a really good smoke. It's a smoke you want to sit down, relax, not really do anything, and just enjoy. So it's a good smoke. I think, once people get to try it, you'll understand what the Hangry stands for. It's just like, when you're in that mood for that stick gives you the right, fills that appetite.
Okay, so I was going to ask, what does the name Hangry mean to you? So is it angry and you calm down? Is it hungry with a twist?
Well, Chris told me about it. So I asked him. He's like, when you're in that zone where you're like, I just need a cigar. I want a cigar. I'm angry for that cigar. Here it is. This is gonna hit that palate, that appetite you have for a nice, good cigar you've been waiting for all day. The Hangry answers that feeling.
All right.
So that's what it came. I thought it's great packaging, great idea. It catches your eye, and not only is it really good marketing they came up with, the cigar we developed for them fits that all perfectly. And so far we've been hearing nothing but good stuff about it. So we're really excited to see where it goes from there.
All right, very cool, very good. I did enjoy the one. I have one more, so I am looking forward to sitting back and just taking my notes on the second one I have.
Oh, good. Yeah, definitely. Let us know what you think on that one. They're excited to find out. Actually, they were asking me like, make sure he smokes ours. I'm like, I'll tell him.
All right, so we're up on the hour now, so we're gonna close this out with a fast lightning round. These are simple, quick answer questions. Favorite genre of movies?
Man, I'm a club. I like the old style mob movies, The Godfather, Goodfellas, those type of movies. The Usual Suspect, stuff like that. Just those drama. I like a little bit of history that's a little more truth than it is fiction. So it's got a little truth to it that I really enjoy. But the old style, The Godfather, I could watch 30,000 times. Never stop watching it.
I'm like that, but I'm more like that with Goodfellas.
Goodfellas too. Yep, just like that. Casino, Goodfellas, all those.
Sometime when we're not live, I'll tell you my personal connection to Goodfellas.
All right, cool. Definitely.
It's a fun story. Well, partly fun story. When you want to take a vacation, where would you want, if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you want to go?
Anywhere there's snow.
Snow.
Where I get on my board and just get on the mountain and go down. So I'll anywhere snow. I'll go to South America to get on a mountain right now. I'm not a beach person, even though my family comes from an island. It's the last place I want to be. I want to be on the mountain snowboarding as much as I can.
So I don't know what you're driving there, but if you could afford any car, what would you want?
1957 Chevy truck.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Classic.
I love that. Classic. I don't want a new car. I want a nice 1957. Perfect for me.
All right, the last question, and everybody gets this, and anybody who's watching knows what's coming. You may not, unless you watch my shows to the end. There's no context to this question. It's a very simple answer. Skirts or pantsuits?
Oh man, that's not right. Skirts.
All right, you're in the majority.
Skirts.
I'm a pantsuits guy. I just feel that a woman that can rock a pantsuit can rock a skirt.
True. That's true. That is so true.
Just keep it at that.
Yeah. You're gonna make me crash.
Hey, David, I really appreciate you taking the time as you're driving. I know we were going to have Jesus on, but he had to go in a different direction. And maybe we'll have another show another time. And we can bring maybe I get
definitely
talk and do a show right from your place.
Yeah, next time we'll set it up. I'll make sure there's nothing in going on. And when you smoke the Patrimonio Maduro, I'll have him on with you, and then he can even get you the whole history. Because I didn't get to say it before, but the Patrimonio came about getting his father's book. Has a lot of different blends in there, and he picked out one that he hasn't seen before. So we started messing around with it, tried the original blend of his father's. Way too strong. It was way too strong. It was like, no, we can't tell.
How strong cigars.
Oh, man, it was way too strong to where I said, we're only going to hit maybe 4 or 5% of the market with this thing. There's no way. So then he threw a little bit of what he likes into it. And then that's where the Patrimonio came in. It was like a heritage, the patriarch, him and his dad's combination, even though his father's still not here. So that's how it is. And he can explain that to you next time you get him on the show.
All right. That sounds good. All right. I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank the sponsors for sponsoring Stogie Press and taking it to the nub. And Dave, I'll give you the last word.
I just want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to come on here and really, show everyone who we are. And we really appreciate the rating you gave us for the Patrimonio. That was incredible. It kind of blew us away. We were so taken back from it. Jesus was just wow. He just couldn't believe it. So we just want to thank you. Just come to martinezcigars.com. You can see us on Instagram at Martinez Cigars. I'm always posting live videos of us rolling or just hanging out. So again, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you to everybody out there. Keep smoking the cigars. Support all cigars. Everyone has great cigars. So if you know something that no one's ever had, share it with somebody because it's a great community.
Excellent. Thank you, everybody, again. Thanks, Dave. Continue safe driving. And
thank you.
Chat on the rebound.
Yes.
All right, man.
Take care, guys. Bye. Nice meeting you.